Hello everybody, I am Crystal Clear 101. Welcome back to my channel. And today I have a Transformers toy review, and this example was provided to me by fellow YouTuber and good friend MightMouse74. So MightMouse74, thank you for sending me this particular figure. I've been looking for this guy. Thank you for sending him to me. I will provide a link to his channel in the description box below. Be sure to check him out. Be sure to subscribe to him. But I will be reviewing the Transformers Age of Extinction Voyager Class Autobot Hound. This figure was released in mid-2014. He is a general release, and his suggested retail is $24.99. First off, here is the front of his packaging. Now, this is a different take on Hound than what I'm used to. I'm glad he's still a military vehicle, but I would prefer like an updated version, like a Humvee or something like that. But then it wouldn't be as impressive as this. But with this being a Canadian example, I don't know if the figure is any different than the US release, but I'm just going to go over the packaging itself. But right down here we have the name where it says Autobot Hound, age, and again, I believe in French, I'm not an expert. We got the Transformers Age of Extinction logo right down here, the Transformers logo right along the side of the box. We have a simple Autobot emblem on the left side of the box. Now on the reverse side, it shows Hound in his robot mode, and it shows him in his Oshkosh Defense Medium Tactical Vehicle, or MTV mode. Now as far as what model MTV he's supposed to be, I am not sure offhand. If you know what model he's supposed to be, comment down below, because I am actually curious. But he changes in 14 steps. And of course, with it being Canadian, it has his little brief bio in 3 different languages: English, French, and Spanish. Let me read the English portion. Autobot Hound might only be a single soldier, but he prides himself on being able to do the jobs of 10. Heavily armored, he isn't about to back down from an all-out firefight. If one comes down his way, to Hound, it's all in the line of duty. Now, if you speak French, or if you speak Spanish, I'll let you take a moment to pause that so you can read that. But it also advertises Galvatron, which is an awesome figure. I'll provide a link to the review for this figure in the description box below this video. Now on the right side of the packaging, we got the Transformers logo, Autobot emblem up here, Transformers Generations, Voyager Class, Series M4, number 3. Nothing special on the top of the box. On the bottom of the box, nothing too special. It's not this saying it's a authentic Transformers product. Alright. Now, with that being said, let me go ahead and get straight to the figure itself. And let me go ahead and say that, unlike some other figures that I do go and get, unlike the others, I will actually keep the box. Since this was a gift from a fellow friend of mine, I will keep this box. But let's go ahead and pause this video. Now that we got Autobot Hound out of the box, let's go ahead and get a better look at him. Now, right out of the box, there's a few things I really like about him. There's like some things I don't care for about him. But let's go ahead and start off with the good. Number 1, he does look fairly cool. You gotta admit, that does look good. Now, aside from that happening, let me go ahead and get this back into place, and then we'll give you a 360 of him. Now, the first thing I like, as you notice, he is loaded to the brim with weapons. He is loaded with guns. And unlike some other series I've fooled with, G.I. Joe, he comes with 8 accessories, 8 weapons, but unlike other G.I. Joe figures I fooled with, he actually has storage for all his accessories. If you notice, the small pistols are in the very base of his legs. His large pistols are at the base of his hip. His shotguns can be mounted on either side of his side right here. Although in my example, they don't want to stay in bed too well. As you can see, his knife clearly goes right here on his chest. And you can have his rifle, his Gatling gun, mounted on his back. So he's got weapon storage. The simple fact they went this far to actually give him weapon storage for everything, this just makes him flat out fantastic for me. So kudos for that. I like that. Aside from that, some other little details. For instance, his little beard right down here. These parts of his arms, these are a soft rubberish kind of plastic. Real soft, real flexible. And as you, well, I'm gonna let that stay down. But as you can see, this will actually twist. It will actually twist, which gives it some flexibility. And not only that, if you look closely at this arm, it honestly looks like a belt of ammunition. I think that looks pretty cool. These right here, which look like individual shells on his shoulder, that looks pretty cool, which gives him the entire commando look. He's supposed to be an Autobot commando. Speaking of which, I don't know about you guys, but for me, just from the head design, from the beard, this top portion, which is supposed to look like a helmet, is it just me, or does he give kind of like a Captain Price look from Call of Duty, Modern Warfare? Is it just me, or does he kind of give that impression? Another thing I do like is he does have reasonably decent articulation. I will give him that. He's got great weapon storage. He has decent articulation. He looks good. His transformation, I would put complexity about up there with Evasion Mode Optimus, but I actually rather enjoy this transformation. If I have any complaints about this figure, for me, number one, he is a little bit top heavy, especially once you mount this rifle on his back. You do have to have him mounted a little forward. But aside from that, he will stand up without really too many issues. If I was to give any other complaints, let's see. I think one of my only other complaints, if you'll give me a second. The other main problem I really do have is that he does have these little almost boxer-like pieces right here on the front of his fist. Now, those can be removed, but, for me, I just don't feel like fooling with that. I just really don't feel like removing those, my personal self. Another thing, this one's give or take. If you notice, like, right here in the front of each of these fingers for his hands, he does have these little raised out pieces, little indentations. That's supposed to help him grip his weapons better. Now, while for holding certain weapons, it does help a good bit. When it comes to number one, let me go ahead and say that you can combine all his weapons to one giant uber mega rifle of doom. I don't know what you call it, but he can hold it with both hands. However, when you're actually trying to get one of the other pistol grips go into this hand right here, this little raised piece can get right in the way of trying to hold it. For me, it just makes it a little more awkward. But other than that, I really don't have any other complaints other than, for me, in my area, he was really freaking hard to find. So, again, thanks to MightMouse74 for sending me this one right here. So, I can not only review him, but so I can finally have him in my collection, because he is just a flat-out fantastic figure. But before I go to his transformation, let's go ahead and go straight to making his super uber weapon of doom. As I said in the last segment, you can actually combine all of Autobot Hound's weapons into one giant, massive boomstick weapon of death. But as far as how you assemble it and so, well, let me show you. First off, the easiest way, take these two pistols. You have to use this specific combo. This is the way it is with mine. First, mount them together. You'll see the two little ports right up here. Then you take this combat knife, stick it in the muzzle of this one. Then simply take the rifle and plug it into these little two tabs right down here. Alright, you got those two attached, and by doing so, this also gives him a bayonet, which I think is pretty neat. Let's put this back here. Next, you take the small pistols and the shotguns. If you notice there's a little hole in the center of each shotgun, well, simply plug this peg into the center of each barrel. And for this little combo, it really doesn't matter with, which one you use, because the slots are universal on both sides of both shotguns. You simply mount them on these little tabs right here. Let me just go ahead and mount them on here. And there you go. As you can see, this makes a ridiculous uber super weapon of doom. But as far as how it looks in Autobot Hound's hands, well, let me go ahead and bring out Hound. Here he is. And I'm going to try to get him to pose with it as best as I can, considering how large this is. But now my only complaint is just getting his other hand, his support hand, to actually hold it. But in case you're wondering, there you go. He can't exactly shoulder it too terribly well, but it does give him this freakishly large weapon, which, yeah, I mean, it does look kind of cool in its own little weird right. But that's it for Hound's super gun. Now, as far as this transformation is concerned, let's go ahead and get straight to that, shall we? Now, to start off Hound's transformation, just to make this easier, we're going to remove his weapons. The only weapons that I will not remove are going to be the two little pistols right down here, for a simple fact that they're already in their standard storage when he's in vehicle mode. And on top of that, for me, it's just a royal pain to get both of them in when he's in vehicle mode. Alright. The start of his transformation. First off, we can go ahead and pop the waist down here. We're going to go ahead and pop both arms down here to the side. While you're at it, you can go ahead and pop out his chest. I'm going in no particular order. Go ahead and pop his wheels out to where they would be positioned. Now, when you bring his head down, bring it down like so, which will bring out the grill, and it will make it that much easier to get his head into place, because that for me was probably the trickiest part. Next, rotate his arms like so, and you will bring these panels into position right here. Now, the way they should look for both sides is like this. This is how they should appear. Like so. As you saw, I just brought it down and rotate. Just line up. Like so. Next, bring his waist down, secure it right there. Now his feet will simply rotate like this. They will simply rotate to their opposing sides. Simply peg them in right down here. Now this top portion right up here will fold out. Now if you want, you can go ahead and bring this section in. I will go ahead and tell you, if you do like the way I'm doing, this part will separate, but that's not too much of an issue, as it will simply go right back in. simply bring the other side in. Like I said, I am not following the instruction manual on this. I'm just doing it my own way. But as you see, they will simply line up without any real issues. Then all you gotta do is just simply adjust a little bit. Now, as far as this is concerned, these front pieces right here will slip right in here, like so. Then simply do that. And there we have it. We have Hound's vehicle mode. And here is Hound in his Oshkosh MTV mode, medium tactical vehicle. Now, overall, the vehicle itself is very eye-catching. I mean, they put a lot of detailing into this. For instance, we have the Oshkosh company logo right here on the passenger side of the grille. I mean, the overall detailing is just fantastic. The fact they went so far as to put a spare tire behind the passenger seat, I think that was pretty nice. Let's get a 360 of the vehicle mode itself. Now, overall, as you can see, you can see some gaps, but that could be corrected very easily. And honestly, unless you really pay attention, you're not going to notice them. But the vehicle mode for this is just flat out eye-catching. Now, as I said, he does have weapon storage. Now, let's go ahead and start off with his main gun right here. Now, what you want to do is flip his stock to the side, pull out this bottom portion, and pull it up. Then after that, it simply goes on the left side of the vehicle. Simply line up these two tab holes with these two tabs. My only complaint with them being right there is unless you have them on there snug, they will pop off. But you gotta admit, that looks pretty wicked right there. Now, as far as the rest of the weapons go, let's see. Now, right down here, you can mount this pistol right here. You can mount it right there. You go to the right side of the vehicle. You can mount this one down here, or you can mount it up here. Now, the only one that's even remotely tricky is the shotguns, because unless you pay attention, you're not going to notice these tabs right here. But simply line them up like so, and they will go on right there. And right there. As I stated, the two small pistols go down here. Now, in case you're wondering, where does that knife go? It simply goes right down here. Now, while you can store all his weapons in vehicle mode, that does look awesome. My only complaint is unless you pay attention, you will knock some of these weapons off. But here he is, fully armed, fully decked out. And you gotta admit, that just looks wicked. That looks very wicked. Now, he does have 6 rolling wheels. Without the weapons, he does roll reasonably well. But as you can see, he rolls okay with all his weapons on. But the fact that you can actually store all his weapons on his vehicle mode like this, that just makes him look wicked. That makes him look awesome. But that is it for his vehicle mode. Now, for size comparison of the Age of Extinction Hound, the only character I'm going to be using is Optimus Prime. But I'm going to start off with WST Optimus Prime, Legion Class RID, the Reveal the Shield Legends Class, Transformers Prime Commander Class, the RID Warrior Class, Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Voyager Class, Transformers Generations Combiner Wars Voyager Class, Transformers Age of Extinction Evasion Mode, and last but most certainly not least, Masterpiece Optimus Prime. Weapons and accessories for Age of Extinction Autobot Hound consist of a combat knife, 2 small pistols, 2 large pistols, one to be mounted on the base of his right leg, and the other to be mounted on the base of his left leg, 2 shotguns, a 3-part Gatling gun, which acts as his rifle, with each part containing 6 barrels, and all of the weapons can be combined onto the rifle itself to form a ridiculously large gun for Hound. An articulation for Age of Extinction Hound consists of a swivel head, a hinged shoulder with a swivel base, swivel biceps, hinged elbows, swivel wrist, swivel waist, hinged hips with a swivel base, swivel thighs, hinged knees, and swivel toes. And what's my overall verdict on the Transformers Age of Extinction Voyager Class Autobot Hound? Here's my verdict. He is an absolutely dead solid Transformer. The fact that he comes not only with a plethora of weapons, of accessories, but the fact he has storage for all of them, both robot and vehicle modes, I think that is flat out impressive. Not only that, he does look good. He has good articulation. And considering the number of accessories it comes with, it gives you plenty of options for poses and all that. But if you can find Age of Extinction Hound, do pick him up. He looks flat out awesome. He is flat out sweet. And I know I sound like a broken record about this, but again, MightMouse74, thank you for sending me this guy. I'm definitely going to be providing you a link to your channel in the description box below this. So, guys, if you like Transformers, check out MightMouse74. He does awesome reviews on Transformers. He also has a Disney channel. He also has a Facebook group called MightMouse74's The Mousetrap, which I will provide a link to that as well. But if you can find this guy, do grab him. He's awesome. But that'll wrap up my review on the Transformers Age of Extinction Voyager Class Autobot Hound. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe.